Ever wonder what giants like Instagram and Spotify have in common? Well, they're both powered by Django, the Python web framework we're diving into today. Let's break down what makes it so incredibly powerful. This phrase, it perfectly nails Django's entire philosophy. It's built from the ground up to help you create complex, top-quality applications and do it ridiculously fast, without ever cutting corners. It's all about getting things done right now. And we're not just talking theory here. Django is absolutely battle-tested. It's running some of the biggest sites you use every day, from massive photo-sharing apps and music streaming services to the data-heavy sites for NASA. This is the real deal. So to really get what makes Django tick, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the basics, then we'll peek under the hood at its architecture. After that, we'll see what it's actually like to build something with it, we'll uncover its famous superpowers, and finally, we'll see where it fits into the whole web development world today. Okay, let's start with the most fundamental question. What exactly is Django? At its core, Django is a toolkit for building websites using Python. The key phrase here is high level. That's just a way of saying it handles all the tedious, repetitive parts of web development for you. And as you can see, it uses something called the MVT pattern. We'll get into that in a second, to keep everything neat and organized so you can focus on the cool stuff. You know, Django wasn't dreamed up in some academic lab. It was actually forged in the fire of a real-world newsroom back in 2003. They needed to build huge, content-heavy websites on insane deadlines, and Django was a solution. It worked so well that they released it to the public in 2005, and, well, the rest is history. So let's talk about how Django actually thinks about a project. This is so important because it's the secret to why Django apps are so clean and easy to manage, and it all boils down to 3 letters: MVT. MVT stands for Model, View, and Template. The big idea here is something called separation of concerns. By keeping your data, your logic, and what the user sees in completely separate boxes, your code doesn't turn into a tangled mess. It's like having a well-organized kitchen where every ingredient and tool has its own specific place. So let's break that down. The model, that's your data. It's the blueprint for your database. The view is the chef. It's the business logic that goes to the database, grabs the data, and decides what to do with it. And the template? That's the final, beautiful presentation, the actual web page that the user gets to see. And here's how they all work together. A user clicks a link, right? Django figures out which view should handle that click. The view talks to the model to get whatever data it needs. Then, the view uses a template to build the page and sends it right back to the user. It's a really clean, logical flow. Okay, enough theory. What does this actually look like when you're writing code? Let's walk through a super simple blog to see it all in action. First, we define our model. We just create a simple Python class and tell Django what a blog post looks like. It's got a title and some content. And the amazing part, you write this and Django automatically handles all the complicated database stuff behind the scenes. No SQL needed. Next up, the view. This is our logic. It's just a Python function that says, hey, go into the database and get me all of the posts. Then it takes those posts and gets them ready to be shown to the user by passing them to a template. And finally, we have the template. This is the HTML file. It takes the list of posts that the view gave it and uses this really simple syntax to loop through them, printing out the title and content for each one. See how clean that is? The logic and the presentation are totally separate. Okay, this brings us to one of the biggest reasons people absolutely fall in love with Django. It's batteries included philosophy. It just comes packed with these amazing built-in tools that save you a ridiculous amount of time. The first superpower is the ORM, the Object-Relational Mapper. Just look at this comparison. On the right, you have the raw, kind of clunky SQL you'd normally have to write. On the left, you have this simple, readable Python that Django lets you write instead. It's a total game changer for productivity. And then there's this. This is arguably Django's killer feature, the automatic admin interface. With just a couple of lines of configuration, Django looks at your data models and poof, it generates a complete, secure, and professional-looking dashboard for managing all your content. I mean, think about that. You get full, create, read, update, and delete powers for all of your data, instantly, without writing a single line of front-end code. It's just there. This feature alone saves you weeks of work. And of course, security. Django takes security extremely seriously. It comes right out of the box with built-in protection against all of these common, nasty web attacks. It's designed from the ground up to help you avoid the common pitfalls and keep your site and your users safe. So with all that power, where does Django actually fit into today's web development landscape? I mean, there are a lot of other frameworks out there, right? This chart really helps put it in perspective. Frameworks like Flask are awesome for small, simple projects, and FastAPI is a beast for high-performance APIs. But Django is still the undisputed king for large, complex, data-driven applications where you want the whole package, the ORM, the admin, all of it working together perfectly from the start. And don't think for a second that Django is standing still. It's constantly evolving, with growing support for modern async features, continuous performance boosts, and an absolutely massive, vibrant community building new tools for it every day. This framework is built to last. Which leads us to our final question. With all the options, is Django still the ultimate backend framework to learn? And while the best tool always depends on the job, for building big, secure, feature-rich applications that you need to get done fast, the answer is still a resounding yes. Because ultimately, that's what it all comes down to. Django's whole purpose is to let you take an idea from your brain to a live, deployed website in a fraction of the time you thought possible. It really is the framework for perfectionists who have deadlines.